Hello! I'm back again. Welcome to the stream. Um, yeah, sorry for the delay. I had to sneeze a lot, and it's never nice to sneeze on camera. My mom taught me manners when I grew up. Hopefully, I can live up to them. So nice to see that we have some activity in the chat. Very fun. And Gandhi asked me if I'm drinking vodka. It is not. It's not Friday yet. No, but maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe I'll do a vodka stream. That's a terrible idea. Anyways, yeah. I'm thinking that I'll go through the project that I'm working on at the moment. I'll be introducing some cool new features for the next release, and yeah, it's gonna be fun. I think. Today I'm cloning Airbnb. I've got something little set up here. Oh wait, there, set up here from the start. We have some data and stuff. At any point, please, write in the chat or whatever if you have any questions. And if you have any questions afterwards, we always have the Discord, so you can join us there as well. We have fun. It's nice. Good moods all around. All right. So, yeah, today we'll be cloning Airbnb. Not all of Airbnb, mind you. It takes time to build Airbnb. Airbnb is a big application. But we'll be working a bit with some of the front end, some layouting stuff. I'm really excited to show you my latest favorite node, and it's not only my favorite node because I built it, but it's something that I think has been missing in Noodle for quite a while, and it makes a lot of the responsiveness things fixes a lot easier. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah. So let's just go through the app quickly here. So what we have here is the app component. This is where everything mounts, the start of it all. And here I've set up some data. Essentially, we're not working with a real database right now. It's probably going to be another stream where we do some work on that stuff. Oh wait, yeah, okay, so first feature I want to show you. Maybe, I don't think we've released it yet, but in the editor settings, we have an experimental feature called Snap Nodes to Grid. And now, when that is on, look at that. Isn't that beautiful? See how they snap. Very snappy. Cool. Yeah, sorry, getting ahead of myself. Or not getting ahead of myself. I'm just starting on new topics. Netim2 asks if this is recorded and if it will be available for later viewing. It is recorded. It will be available for later viewing as well. I think, yeah, I'm recording. Thank you for pointing that out. That's great. Yeah, so back to the app. Yeah, as you see here, we have some data here. This is just some static data. I'm setting up, well, first of all, we have a geolocation, so that's not static. This is probably the only dynamic data in the app so far. And it's just an easy little geo plugin JSON call, essentially, that gets you the longitude and the latitude and outputs it. And then that is being sent to an object that stores it. And using this, we can use it for features like this thing here, that it's 34.7 kilometers away. Oh, wait, let's go back. Yeah, or 1,277.6 kilometers away. So that's what we use it for currently. We'll probably be using it for some other things as well later on, especially when we, when we start working more with the maps and stuff. But for now, this is the only thing that it does. I should also point out that we are working on some prefabs that will make geolocation and just maps and things like that a little bit easier. in the future, so that will not be released in 2.8.2, but it will come eventually, and hopefully pretty soon. Anyways, let's continue here. We have an array of users. Right now we have 3 users. We have an array of locations. We have 2 locations at the moment. One cozy townhouse and one idyllic cabin. And these all have like a lot of data that I myself included. So it might not be the way Airbnb does it, but this is the way I've chosen to do this for this test thingy. That will probably also change when we actually build more of those backend features. But right now, this is where we are, and it has things like title, location, a couple of images. It has the location, the nightly price. It checks what user has uploaded it, and it has its own kind of location ID. It has a rating here as well. This should probably be calculated from the reviews. But I figured that when we use the when we add the real backend features, we'll probably have we will calculate it based on these different criteria the different scores in the reviews, but to not having to do that with every page load or whatever, I think that the backend will actually calculate this whenever a new rating gets uploaded or gets posted, and then we just expose that in its own property. It's a neat way of not overloading the backend. We have some other stuff like max guests. We have rooms. This is a very special place to live because it has 4 rooms. 2 of them are bathrooms. One of them is a bedroom with a whole lot of beds, and then a living room with 2 beds as well. We also have a list of amenities, and amenities that are not included. And this is, let me show you, let's see here. If we go to airbnb.com, let's see here. Let's just go here. That looks cool. Norway is nice. If we go here, you have the different amenities that are offered. So essentially, it's like what is included, and then also here at the bottom, it has a list of things that are not included. Yeah. So that's essentially what this is, and we'll give it I'll give you a closer look at this. Well, actually now, because we've come to that place, because the other thing we have is a description. So if you look at the amenities, essentially, I created this as a list or as an object with different keys, and all of these have their own IDs, and these are the ones that you type into that you put in the array to know what amenities are included and not included. And they all have a name, which will be the name that is typed out. They will have an icon, and then just a class of material icons. This is probably not necessary. I just wanted to, because I'm going to use this with the Noodle icon node, and the icon node actually takes both the name of the icon, but also a class, and this is to allow for different icon libraries to be able to be used, essentially. And I just didn't feel like creating a node that transforms this data, so instead I opted for copying and pasting the same thing all over the whole thing, which in hindsight is probably a more annoying idea than just transforming it later on. But here we are. It's easy to be wise when it's hindsight is 2020. That's the English expression for it. So yeah, that's the amenities that are being that we output in here. We also have a location type here, and I didn't talk about this before, but the location type is essentially right now it's just the strings here, so it's apartment, townhouse, or cabin. But I'm thinking probably that the location types will have different types of data on them in the future, so that you can kind of like you'll be doing other things in the future as well. So maybe you have different pricing, or I don't know, maybe there is some kind of baked in things here. I haven't really looked through the data of Airbnb that extensively yet, but I'm guessing that it could be done. You know, maybe we can include icons here as well, and things like that. Yeah, so this is essentially the data that we're working with right now. So if we look here at the design here, these are the two locations that are being output. And yeah, really, like this application has 2 pages only, and I've actually put all my pages in the pages folder because I'm thinking that, for a big application, this might be pretty long. So having all of the pages in the root might be a bit annoying. I'm gonna clean this up later on as well. This is just, yeah, we'll go through it later. But essentially, we have a start page here. Nothing fancy, just gets all the locations and, does things. And then we have the location details, which is the messiest component at the moment. And yeah, if we enter it, we see here, we get all of the data for it. So the title here, Cozy Townhouse in the Middle of Hurva, which is in Eslöv in Sweden. If you haven't been there, I recommend going. Pretty nice. We also, yeah, so here is where we output the location type. So this is a townhouse hosted by Banjolasse. And if you're not into old Swedish music, this is also a legend. Here we also have some calculations for, like 2 guests, 7 beds, 1 bedroom, 2 bathrooms. And this is essentially done in a function node. Andy Gandhi writes in the chat, Banjolasse is the Slash of Sweden. And I'd say that, yeah, you're pretty right. He only misses like the cool hat. But other than that, yeah, I agree. But yeah, this thing that extracts the different data, it's also a JavaScript node, and what it does essentially is that it takes all of the room array that it has and just does some calculations on it for every like bedroom that it finds. It adds another. If a bathroom, it adds another one, and then it just puts all of the beds together essentially in this one little, in these 3 little variables that are being output. And here I'm just checking, if it's 1, it should be singular. If it's more, it should be plural. Also, this is an interesting thing actually, because you say that it has 0 beds. You wouldn't say 0 bed. So yeah, that also kind of works out neatly that we only have 1 singular, even if it's nothing. Yeah. And this could probably be done a little differently as well, but this is the way I chose to do it for now. You can always refactor later. Anyways, we also have the image coming in from the user, and for that we are using the avatar prefab. So we're just sending the avatar. And what happens here is that, so when we get to this page, we get the room ID, and here's the little quirk that we actually been talking about in the Discord support chat, just I think yesterday actually, that Noodle sets its own IDs on things. So, and those IDs are global. So to retrieve an object, you need an ID. But I also want to add my own IDs to the to all of the locations, to all the users, and things like that. And also, I mean, if you're getting your data from an API, that's probably what will happen as well. You'll get like every object will have its own ID. So actually, really what I'm doing is I have this little folder called getters, and I have like get location type, get Noodle ID from location ID, and get Noodle ID from user ID. These are the ones that I've been needing right at the moment, but they're pretty simple. It's, it takes in a location ID, which is the kind of my own ID for the thing, and it has the array of all of the locations here in this case. And what it does is that it just checks for Um, you know, it's looking for it's looking through all of the locations and trying to find the location which has a location ID of the location ID that I send it. Um, yeah, and that's essentially it. So that's kind of my way of transforming the local ID or the object ID to a global Noodle ID to be able to easily retrieve the objects. And I do this thing here, and also from this object, I also get the user ID. And that user ID is being sent to the get Noodle ID from user ID, and that gives me the Noodle ID to be able to retrieve this object as well. And we can actually see this in action here. Here is the, so if we hover the connection, we see that the user ID that we get is 1, and the Noodle ID that we get back is DOJ9 blah blah blah, and so on and so forth. So this is the one that Noodle actually internally uses to find all of the different objects. And from this object, from the user, we see that we get the user ID, we get the first name, we get the last name, and we get the image URL. And I've just copied and pasted some image URLs from the internet. This would probably be handled in the database as well. Maybe you upload the images to some kind of CDN or whatever, and it just returns the images from there. Yeah. Anyways, what else happens here? Yeah, we just send the first name here to this string format, and it also gets the location type. And what we do here is that just location type hosted by user, and that text is getting sent to this little title up here. And the image is being sent into the avatar. So essentially, that's what we have right now. This is the data that we're working with. But if we actually go to this page here, we see that we get a really nice image grid. And also, if we go back here, we also have so we have like one primary image out here, and then when we open it, we get the primary image really big, and then we have a little grid of other images. And then we can click here to show all photos, and we get all photos in a list. Wow, this is a really cool place, actually. I don't like the cold, but it looks beautiful. Oh, wow, look at this. A nice warm cup of coffee in the mountains of Norway. Yeah, anyways. So that's what we have here. And that's what we kind of want to recreate here as well. But the thing here is that, when it comes to responsivity, this kind of, changes its look. Right here, it just changes this to a slideshow, I think. Yeah. But, I mean, we're not going to do a slideshow today, but we want an easy way to make these things. And previously in Noodle, it's been a bit annoying, to be completely honest. Like, you have to create groups, and then in the group, you have to put in other groups, and then you have to add the right margins and spacings. And, if you want to have different layouts, it's often been easier to just create another layout and then toggle between the two different layouts in the node tree or in the DOM tree. So you do for the desktop, this is shown, but when we get to the mobile, maybe we just unmount it and mount in another component. And it's fine and all, but it's a bit tedious, and to be quite honest, a bit too many extra steps, I think. So I've actually been working on a little new node, which is my little baby right now, which is columns. And it makes things a lot easier. I thought of making this a prefab, actually, but it turned out that it's a bit more intricate than a prefab allows for. So this is one of the rare occasions where we actually include a new core component or a core node. So that's exciting. And the way this works, and this will all be documented and stuff, but let me just give you a quick rundown. So what we have here is that we have it has a couple of layout settings. And the first, the most interesting thing, I think, is the layout string. This is also the most cryptic one, I think. And so what is a layout string? And essentially, this is a way of using a string to create your column layout. And it's pretty neat because what it does is that this kind of represents your columns. So here we have two numbers, so it's two columns. The first column takes up two fractions of the total width, and the second column takes up one fraction of the total width. So if we would translate this into percent, this would be a 33.33333 wide column. No, sorry, 66.6666 wide column, and this would be a 33.33333 wide column. And this is really neat because this string right here, like you can pass other strings to it. So you can change the layout without affecting the children, like without having to change the children or having to change anything else. You can change the layout either like with button presses or more interestingly with the media query prefab. And I think this is really, really neat because then you can actually make designs like this that collapse and fold and do all kinds of fun things. So let's make it easy by just building it out, and then we'll see where we get. And I think it will make a lot of sense when we start. So let's see here. We have a meta bar here. We want to put it right below the meta bar. Oh, here's another nice quick tip. I usually create a component. Right now I just have one layout component, but I call it a limiter. And essentially what the limiter is just a group that has a group in it and that has component children in it. What this does is that this inner group has a max width. So in this case, a max width of 1,200. And the parent group has some padding in it, and also always centers its children. So essentially what we get is that we get a column that always has the same spacing on the sides when we resize it, and then when we hit the max width, it just kind of stays there and stays in the middle. And I mean, it's not too complicated, but it's a neat component to have. In this case here, if we want to globally change things, for example, maybe we decide that, for our desktop, we should have, or maybe like we decide that for the tablet, we should have 32 pixels of padding all around, but in the mobile, we just want 24 or 16. And so we can do this in this component here instead of having to like go back and forth into all of the components where you wrap content. You just do it in one place. And it's really neat. Yeah. All right, let's get back here. So in this limiter right here, I think we want to put the images in this limiter. And right here we have a text, we have a meta bar. So let's put a, yeah, let's put another, let's put a columns here. See what happens. Let's see here, right there. So now we have a columns here inside of the limiter, and right now it doesn't do anything. And it's because the columns doesn't have any children. But what we can do here, first of all, is that we can change the layout string to 1, 1. The reason why I want to do this is because we have to break this down into like different sub columns, I guess. So the first thing that we have here is that we have one grid of like 2 blocks. So there's one block here to the left and one block here to the right. In the block to the left, we have one image, and the block to the right, we have another like 1, 1 column grid. And the reason why we break this down in this way is that we will be able to style it pretty nicely later on. So my thought is that it starts off like this. When we get into tablet mode, we'll have one big image at the top and maybe 4 smaller images below. And then when we get to the mobile version, we have one big image at the top and then like 4 images below, but in a like split 50-50 column. So let's do it. So yeah, we've set the column to 1, 1. That is nice. And we have a horizontal gap of 16 pixels and a vertical gap of 16 pixels. I think that will be nice. Let's try out with just putting an image node into both of these. Let's see here. Let's get the primary image from here. image is there. And then we have that as the source, and then we get a huge image. And let us change that. Let's add another. Let's see, we have the 1-1. The image is huge. There we go. So what we have to do here is that the children inside of the columns have to have the, they need to have an explicit width. The height can be a little bit whatever, but the explicit width is important. And it's that you have to set the explicit width to 100%. And this will be like it becomes 100% of its column. And let's just, let's just copy this image and just for now, quickly, just to show you how this grid works. So, and now we have like a 2x2 grid, or no, 2x1 grid. What we can do here is, if we, Javes writes in the chat, the columns node is an excellent idea. Thank you. I've been thinking about it for a very long time. Really happy that it's out. But this is really neat because, with this, right now, this is set to 1-1. So it looks, we have 1 and 1. But we could also do it, 1-2. And then we have, this one is 1/3, this one becomes 2/3. By default, the columns node has a value of 1-1. And this is because I think it shows, it gives a really good visual representation of what this node does. So right now, we have one column that is 1/4. We have one column that is 2/4, and one column that is another 1/4. And yeah. And this is neat. And this, you have been able to do kind of this thing before. But the power here is that just by changing this, we can go from 1-1, but we can also do just a 1. Then it becomes just one long list of images, always with the same gap, of course. But this is really neat because we can change this. Like with media queries. So let's do that. Actually, I don't know why I did that. Let's keep it this way. But so yeah, what we want to start off with is a 1-1 grid. And the first column, so the first column is supposed to be one image. If we go back here, second column is another 1-1 grid. So let's create another columns. And remove these for now. Let's put them here. Then the second child here is columns, and we do that as 1-1 as well. Then we can put these images here. Look at that. Neat. Very nice. Very, very nice. And if we, if we put more images here, they will flow just as intended. The reason why I'm actually trying it out a little bit extra is that we're going to be releasing this pretty soon, and I just want to make sure that everything works. So this is both a debug stream and a introduction stream at the same time. But so far it seems really nice. I've been using it like the past 2 weeks, and nice. But also, I'm running this on a separate account on my computer, and sometimes, yeah. So I'm running the dev version, and the dev is on the other account, and I'm, kind of hooking into my other account. Yeah, it's a whole mess. But it seems to work fine. It's nice. Javis. How do you pronounce that? Javis. Sorry for botching it. But you're right. Love it. And thank you for loving it. I love it too. Yeah, I've been saying that a whole more than I should probably. I'm sorry, I'm just really happy about this. But anyways, the nice thing with this is that it not only takes children, but it also takes a repeater. So we can do a repeater here, and we can put it in this column. And if you remember in this object, we had a we have an array called images. Look at that. So what we can do is that we can send those images to the repeater. And for this, I think I already have an atom call. Or do I? Or maybe it's in location details. Yes, grid image. Here we go. And this one, it takes in a source and it takes in a height. And then it sets it on the image. So, yeah, let's go back to here and let's send. Actually, we should map this as well. So let's do a function node. I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself, but really what we want to do here later on is that we want to set specific heights on these images so that it will always kind of line up nicely, because we want this type of grid, you know. So we'll have to crop the images a bit, and that's why I've prepared for a height in this thing here. But let's just do this quickly here. Let's see here. Yeah, cool. So what we do here first, this will take in a actually no, wait, this will return items. So we just do items, and this should take in the array of items, and then we should map over that array and return an object with a source and eventually a height as well. Yeah, so let's do that. Inputs dot let's call it images map image. So yeah, and this should return an object, and the image should be source. It should be, I think, let's see here. How is this data returned? Images, yeah, it's just a string. Cool. So source will just be the image that is returned. And yeah, let's keep it at this for now. Let's see. Oh wait, we get an error here. What does it say? Outputs. Oh yeah, because it's not called output, it's called outputs. And here's another little trick. This is a question we get like somewhat often. And it's actually possible on the script nodes to not define the inputs and outputs in the side panel. You can just, you know, if you just write outputs.items, it will, or inputs, or if you're outputs.something or inputs.something, it will actually automatically create them. This is a neat little workflow feature. You can't typecast these though, so the inputs will not be, because I think you can do it here. Yeah, exactly. You can't do that, or maybe there is a way. I know that there is a way for the script node. I don't know if it is for the function node though, and I tend to do most things in function whenever I write any custom code. Yeah. Anyways, let's see here. Yeah, this is nice. Outputs.items is inputs.images.map. Image source image. Perfect. Let's see. Wait, we're getting another error here. Cannot read properties of undefined reading a map. Oh, of course, because we haven't sent images to this, and so it's undefined. And I'm thinking that, just for to be here, just for to be secure, or just for error's sake, let's let's just do a fallback here. So if inputs dot images dot length, also we should check like if actually if inputs dot images, let's just do like this. If we don't have any input images, we just return. Cool. And now we probably don't have the error anymore. No, we don't. That's neat. So here we go. Let's connect the images to the images, easily enough. And then from here, we connect the items output to the items input of the repeater. And here we also need to select what template we want to use for the repeater. And for that, it's explicit. And it is, let's see here. What did we call it? Was it grid image? Maybe, yeah, there it is, grid image. Actually, you know what? Maybe we should add a search bar to this. It's yeah, let me know in the chat if it's gonna be interesting to have a search input for these things. We've actually been talking about maybe having search inputs for these things as well, like for the connection pop-ups, because these, here it's not that much, but it can become a lot. So yeah, let's do that later, or let's talk about that later. Anyways, getting back here. What we see here is that, anyways, right now, so we get the images as an array, we transform those images, and then we send them to the repeater. And as you see here, wow, look at that grid. Beautiful. Super nice. Now the images look a bit weird. But it's because we haven't set a specific height. Or I think the grid, let's see here. So the grid image has has a default value of 100 pixels height. We're gonna overwrite that actually, and that's what we're gonna do next. But yeah, but this looks cool, looks nice, neat. All right, so what we can do here now is we need to let's set these sizes as well. And actually, you know what? Let's just hop into the responsiveness stuff straight away. I think that's going to be nice. So what we'll do here is we'll be working with the media query prefab, I think it is. And I've actually in my components here, I have a folder called media queries, and I have a default media query, which is just the the core functionality of it. And then I have a lot of other media queries. So like I have a desktop and up, mobile, small, tablet, all of that stuff. And this is really nice because it lets me kind of include these wherever I want. So let's go for a what did we say? We said we want the layout for desktop, a layout for tablet, and a layout for mobile, right? So let's create 3. So we do media query, desktop and up. We do a media query for tablet and a media query for mobile. Look at that, very nice. And really what this is just a component that I've created that just runs the media query node under the hood. And it's really simple. What it does is that it just takes in a string here. And then if it matches, it sends out match. If it doesn't match, it sends out no match. So we have these 3 here. So what these does actually is this isn't really our media, this isn't the content of our media queries. This is just the trigger itself that says, is this media query being do we meet the criteria for this media query? So actually what we're going to do is that we're going to use a states node. If we can spell it. And the states node is nice because it lets you define a lot of different states. And on those different states, you can have some values. And those values can be different for all the different states. So let's create, let's see here, is desktop. And these can be called whatever. I just decided to name it this way now, just to be clear. Is tablet, and then is mobile. Nice. And default, here's the age-old question, are we mobile first or are we desktop first? I don't really have a preference. Let's go for desktop by default. And here what we can do is that we can create the different values. So what we need to change in the different like when we get into the different breakpoints, is that we need to change the, first of all, we need to change the layout string for the topmost columns so that this thing here will, so we can put this little grid below the big image. And then we'll also have to change this layout string here so that we can either show, 2 images side by side or 4 images in a row. And then also, yeah, we have to set the heights as well. Yeah, so let's do that. So what did I say? I'd say parent column or parent layout string, and this should be a string. We should have a child layout string, and we set this to be a string as well. Then we'll have a or primary height, and we have a secondary height. And this is really, this is the primary image, so that will get its own height, and the secondary images will get their own heights as well. Cool, and all of this should also be, should we set it as string or as a number? I think we just set it as a number, actually. Yeah, we set it as a number. Cool. So let's see here. Let's do a little bit of thinking. So for the, first of all, for the parent columns, the first thing we want is on desktop, it should be 2. And on all other subsequent ones, it should be 1. Because we want, if it gets smaller, these images will just pop in below this one. So let's start with, in desktop, it should be 1, 1. In tablet, it should be 1. In mobile, it should be 1. And let's see if it works. So the first thing we can do, actually, we have to hook up the media queries to the different states. So if we get a match for the desktop, we will go to the desktop state. If we get a match for the tablet, we'll go to the tablet state. And if we get a match for the mobile query, we go to the mobile state. And look at that, how neatly this actually it turned out to be. That's nice. Love it when it happens. All right. And what we want to do first, this is our, maybe we should name this so that it's easier to, let's see here, no, wait, this is not here. Where are we? We are, oh no, there we are. Perfect. So let's rename this to parent, or no, okay, so image column that's what they say, the hardest parts in programming is just what to name things. Image column child. And I mean, this doesn't do anything, it just makes it easier to keep track of things. Yeah. And so for the parent column, let's see here, parent layout string, and we'll send the parent layout string to the layout string. And look at that. Look at that. So when we get to, yeah, so this is correct. And then we should probably hit the desktop breakpoint pretty soon. There. Look at that. Ah, nice. Can do this all day. All right, neat. Let's do the same for the child column grid. So we go in here, the child layout string. In desktop, we started also with a 1, 1. In tablet, we go 4 images beside one another. So we do 1, 1, 1, 1, because you know, 4 columns, equal size. And then in mobile, we do 1, 1. Cool. Well, let's see here. Let's see here. Did we hit the... See, so... Oh yeah, of course. We haven't sent it. That's why nothing is happening. So let's send it. So let's send the child layout string to the layout string in the child image columns. All right. Again. So, look at that. Look at that, look at that. And then we get here. Oh, this is nice. Makes me a happy camper. That was a Airbnb pun. All right. So what we do now? Let's fix the heights as well. And so what do we want? What do we want? What kind of heights do we want? Let's see here. Let's just look into the chat. I haven't looked at you in a while. Toothless Viking says, what program am I seeing here? Is this what they call low-code scripting? And then Toothless Viking writes, sorry, I didn't read the info first, my mistake. No worries. I don't mind. Yeah, this is a low-code tool called Noodle. Born out of the inspiration of, it should be easier to build apps. It should be easier to, collaborate across different disciplines and stuff. Yeah, this is what we do. It's nice. I say that things are nice a lot, don't I? Yeah. Anyways, let's check the heights. So, yeah. So I'm thinking that for the big image, we want it to be about, I'd say 500 pixels high. So in desktop, this will be 500. Then in tablet, let's keep 500 here. It's a nice number. Maybe do it a bit smaller in the mobile one. Let's go for 300 there. That'll be nice. Let's connect that to the... Oh yeah, of course, we haven't sent the height. And if you remember, in this the grid image component, it actually takes a height as well that is being sent to the height here. So we have to transform that data. So let's do that. Let's go here. Image. So here we also have a height. And in this height, it should be input dot height. Spelling is hard. There we go. And so now this has an input. Let's make this a bit smaller. So we can send the... Oh, wait. Getting ahead of myself. Once again, I did the height for the small items, and we're just talking about the parent one here. So let's do that first. This one is easy. It's just primary height. Send that to the height. And let's see here. Let's see. Oh yeah, we have to make this, let's see here, 100%, and then we do this in pixels. Because right now it just didn't take the height into account at all. So let's see here. Does this work better? Yes, it is. We just have to change from contain to cover. Cool. Look at that. So now it gets resized into the different sizes. That is nice. Cool. So let's do the image heights as well. These have to be half of the full image minus the spacing here. And what can that be? Or does it have to be minus that spacing? You know what? Let's yeah, it probably has to, right? Yeah. Yeah. So let's see, what could that be? Is that like 100 and what was it 240 something? Let's see. Let's go here. So secondary height, we try 240. And we send the secondary height into the into the function that transforms the data for the small ones, small images. Secondary height, we send that to height. Yes, almost perfect. Let's see, we're missing a couple of pixels. Let's do 242. Yeah, looks about right. We're not working with perfect numbers here. This is just a demo live stream, so. But I think this should probably be perfect. Nice. So yeah, here we have this layout. So how do you want it to look? Is this not? Yeah, I mean, I think this is pretty. It works. That's pretty cool. Let's do 250 in the mobile version, or in the tablet version. Or is that too much? Maybe that's a bit too much. Let's do 200. Make them nice and square-ish. Yeah, and then we get, a little bit of portrait there, or a little bit of landscape there, and then it kind of bumps down to a little bit of portrait. Yeah. Okay, cool. And what do we want to do for the smallest breakpoint? This is way too much, so let's go with like 150 maybe. That nice. What size is this? Let's see. Let's check for what is the common mobile. That is the common mobile size. Yeah, it looks quite good on the common mobile size. The common tablet size. Yeah, looks neat. And the common desktop size. Ah, looks good. Cool. This is a yeah. I usually you only like no, for the most part when I do things in Noodle, I just check it for the common ones, and it's kind of essentially we've picked them out because it's the most common size for like statistics. Blech. Device statistics say that these are the most common sizes for the different devices that people are having. And then we've kind of included a bigger, so they come like essentially they have one large, one medium, and one small size, and then the most common one we just named common, just to kind of, this one, for example, the small mobile, it's very important for me because I have a pretty old smartphone. It's one of the few smartphones, I guess, that still use the 320 width, so I check that a lot. But for most part, I just do the common ones. Yeah. All right, so we have this grid now. Nice. And yeah, that is that. This is essentially this is the columns node in a nutshell. Like right now we're doing this based on media queries, but this can just as easily be, I don't know, we could change this states node with a, like, I don't know, button press or some checkbox or whatever. Maybe you could have like a save the data in the database and have users have their own kind of custom layout options or whatever. It's yeah, the possibilities are endless. So yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. When you try this out, please let me know if you like it, and if there is anything that should be changed. We've been thinking about adding an option where you have no columns at all, like not even the 1-1. Let's see the chat. Mlodshi Pumbus says how to handle Scrum Masters. This is actually a question that stretches far beyond Noodle and Noodle's capabilities. I know it might look a bit like, a Kanban lane with the different cards that you can drag into different positions and whatnot. You can even use a comment node actually to make lanes. Look at that. This is stupid. Why am I doing this? All for the bit. Yeah. But yeah. I don't have a good question. Communication is key. That is I've been actually talking to some people about it today. As long as you communicate, things will be nice. Yeah. So yeah, but anyways, we've been talking about maybe adding features for other layout things as well. I had an idea of maybe allowing custom percentages, or like wild cards and stuff, but it'll probably be in a later version. I'm thinking that we can use this for a while, see what we like, see what we don't like, and then iterate upon that. Yeah, start off small and then expand as time goes along. Cool. So yeah, now we've seen these images. Let's go back and click the other one. Oh, this would be nice. Maybe we should do a custom image loader. Oh yeah, now these images have been loaded, so yeah. Let's do that in another live stream. That's nice. Maybe that should be a prefab actually. Yeah. Let us know on the Discord if you'd like a image preloader prefab. And we'll get to it if it gets enough traction. Anyways, so here's the new location. There's an idyllic cabin in the north of Sweden by Haraudden in Jokkmokk, which coincidentally is rented out by another Swedish legend, Jokkmokk's Jocke. Yeah, it's a small cabin, one guest, one bedroom, one bathroom. Perfect for the loners out there. Anyways, let's see. What more should we do? There's still 1 hour left in the stream. So yeah, maybe we should round the corners. That would be neat. So round the corners, maybe add this little button here. Let's do that. So for that, how do we do this? So maybe we should actually wrap the columns in a group. Let's do that. So dragging that, and then we drop that in the group. And here we have it. Cool. What corner radius do we set for this? Maybe corner radius of 8. Is that too much? Oh yeah, it doesn't show up now. It's because we have to clip content. There we go. Yeah, nice. I don't know if you see it. Let's zoom in. No, we can't zoom in. All right. Yeah, there's a nice little rounded corner up here. There, down here, down there. Easy enough. So and then we need the button as well. And yeah, that should be easy to implement too. Let us now let's create a button. And we put it in the group too. And I actually have a style variant, which is a small button. And I think a small button is the nicest one for this. Yeah, it looks neat. It looks nice. What should it say? Show all images. There we go. This should be not... like, we want it to float on top of the images. So we do it absolute. And now it's hidden. It's probably lying right below this right here. So let us bump up the Z index. There we go. And then we want it to be aligned to the bottom. So let's align it to the bottom and to the right. And give it some... let's give it some spacing as well. So we do 16. I think 16 is nice. Does it look good? Oh, maybe we should do 8. Maybe 8 looks neater. Yeah, I like 8. Let's do 8. Look at that. So now we have the image here. It doesn't do anything when you click it though. So should we fix that as well? Let's see here. Let's just name this for the next person that works in this project. See all images. Just name it that. A little bit of built-in documentation. So what do we want to do? We want to click this and open a light box. Oh, look at this. We already have a light box. Oh, okay. It's a light box with a to-do in it. But that's cool. I think we're actually working on a new carousel prefab. I'm not sure. But I know that there was someone in the team who had something that they were working on. Oh, that's cool. It already closes the pop-up. Oh yeah, of course, because it's a light box. Alright, cool. Let's go back. Let's no, what is it? Show pop-up. Show pop-up for that. And then when you click the button, you should show. And how do we know what pop-up to show? Well, we set it as a target. The target is... Oh! This is the way you search. Of course. Yeah? Cool. You learn something new every day. Look at that. This is a nice little bug we have here. So here's the secret to how we make these little arrows. It's just a square. Look. So here it is. And then if I type... Oh. That is... we should fix that. Oh well. You live and you learn. Cool. Let's see here. So now we've created the button, we've hooked it up. When we click show all images, we get a light box. Nice. Let's see. Oh yeah, wait, it just shows 3 images. Yeah, I guess the light box is... Yeah, the light box is a to-do. And it does stuff, and I'm not fully sure what they're doing, so maybe yeah. Let's not interrupt someone's work here. Let them do whatever they do. Yeah. It's nice. Yeah, it's nice because like we do have a lot of like we do have version control features. So we're actually, when we're working on a project like this, we have like we have like a long history of things and stuff like that. So it's really nice to, work on a project and then leave it for a bit and then come back and see that, somebody has been adding things like the yeah, like the light box. That's cool. All right. So that's that. Is there anything else you're interested in seeing? Because I can just, continue building things here. But yeah. Please tell me in the chat if there is anything in particular you're interested in seeing today. And I'll just do my thing until I get some suggestions. So let's see here. What more can we do? What more can we do? What more can we do? Maybe we should just, take it easy, take it slow. We do have a description, so maybe we should show the description. Maybe we should show the reviews as well. Let's start with the description. It's the easiest one. And I'm feeling particularly easy this little Thursday of ours. So let's go back to the location details page. And let us see what type of information we have here. I mean, we do have a lot of information. We haven't. Oh yeah, we have a description. Han So High asks in the chat, "Hello, what tool is this?" This is a tool called Noodle. You should check it out. Noodle.net. It's super nice. I love it. I'm very biased as well, but yeah, it's super nice. Should definitely check it out. But yeah, let's add the description quickly. So let's see here in this object. Let's pull out the description. Description. I think that's what it's called in the object that we get. Description. Perfect. All right. So let's see here. Here we have a. Oh yeah, here we use the columns again. So in this case, we use a 2-1 because this should be 2/3 and this should be 1/3. And the booking area is essentially reserved for this little fancy widget right here. Yeah, that's nice. All right. Let's see, and that one has a content, it has a header. Cool, so let's create another group. So that'll be easier to style. Maybe we should make this group into a prefab, or no, sorry, into a component so we can reuse it in places. Yeah, that'll be my other layout. Let's create a new visual component. We call it content section. And in this we put component children, because this will be where we render all the children of our component. And really the only thing that we're going to be doing with this, I think, is to add some padding at the bottom. And that padding will be 32 pixels, just because I feel like it. And then maybe we had 32 pixels margin in the bottom as well, just in case. Let's do that. But also what it should have is it should have a border, a bottom border, solid, 1 pixels. What color? I think maybe 400 is the one I use here. Let's go back and see. It's called content. Oh, this actually doesn't have anything on it. Interesting. Maybe we should expose the margin option, actually. Yeah, let's do that. That'll be nice. But yeah, it has a border bottom of... No, it doesn't. What? Oh, is it the header that has the border bottom? Yeah, look, the header has 32 pixel padding. Cool, and it has a border bottom of 400. Great 400. Perfect. Yeah, that's nice. You know, actually, let us go back into this group and let us add a component inputs so that we can actually change the bottom margin if you want to. I'm thinking of setting it to like a sensible 32 pixels by default, but then we can actually, you know, overwrite it in the places where we want to overwrite it. So let's do that. And here's another quick tip. If you want the inputs to be typed, you can actually do it by connecting a type node or like a value node in between here. I'll show you. Let me show you. So first we have the margin bottom. Oh, and we should also say that it was in pixels because that is the, you know, so that'll be easy to remember so that you don't try to send in like percentages or whatever if you're a bit confused. And then what we do here is that we connect the margin bottom in pixels to the margin bottom in pixels on the group node. And so if we let us go back here. So now I'll show you the typing stuff here. So if we would have used, let's see here. Let's what did we call it? Content section. Content section. So we'll replace the header here with the content section. So let's put it there. And then we take all of the stuff in the content section. I think. Yeah. All of the stuff in the content section and put it there. That looks nice. Or actually, you know what? Let us also do like this. Because I saw that the header actually has some layouting stuff on it. So let's boosh all of this into the content section. There. And then on the header, we remove the bottom border. There we go. Oh, and also we should remove the bottom pixel. There we go. So now it looks like before. And really, like, this is not fully necessary to do it this way. And it might seem, you know, a bit, what do you say, a bit unnecessary to, you know, add a thing for just a padding and a border. But it makes it so much easier to work with in the long run. Like, this is a big app. This is going to be, it's going to be a lot of stuff here. And if we're going to be rewriting those things all the time, every time we want to use that, that is going to be annoying. And it's going to be extra annoying when we figure out that, oh, wait, our content, we actually need, I don't know, darker borders at the bottom, and it needs a bigger padding. And then you have to go through your whole project and like find all the things where you've actually set the borders and the padding, and you know, nah, it'll take too much time. So I don't know. I personally think it's almost better to have too many components than too few. Um, and right here, you know, we have it. Here it is. Yeah. So let us go back here. So typing the inputs. So right now here we have. Oh, look at that. We don't need to type. Okay, yeah. So I'm guessing that if you connect it to the margin or padding values, it does that automatically. That's really neat, actually. That's really neat. Cool. As I said, you learn something every day. But you know, maybe we were connecting it to a function node or whatever. Um, so let's do that just for fun. Um, so we do function, and we just do inputs lol, because I'm that kind of person. I don't know if that's, yeah, cool. So now this has one input. And let's add another port to this, which we'll just call this has to be a number. And so if we just connect this input, or this, yeah, the component inputs to the lol input, when we actually, you know, go here, wasn't it in the content section? Wait up. Component inputs, content section. Why are you not showing the input? If we just name it something more sensible. Like lol is more sensible. That's interesting. All right, let's see here. Maybe I'm just misunderstanding something here. Anyways, so if we, you know, send the beds to the lol input, okay, yeah, so that works apparently. But you know, this is a string and we wanted lol to just be a number. Let's rename this again. Please be a number. But here we're actually sending a string, and that doesn't work. We don't want that. So what we can do is to set a variable in between. So please be a number. Please be a number is the value. And then this value is then being sent into the lol. And so when we get back here and we try to send a string to the please be a number, Oh, it works. Haha. We should fix that. But yeah, okay, so here is the cool part. Anyways, now we've got the control here for this, so we can actually do things here. So if I write series, I don't know, it doesn't allow you to do that. But if I write a number, that works. And this, like the most powerful version, or most powerful way of using this, in my opinion, is actually that you can use it with a states node. You can add like 1, you can add 2. So these are just 3 arbitrary state names. But the cool thing here is that, oh yeah, let's do value as well. So the value from this one can go into the lol. But the cool thing here is that please be a number can be used to the sent to the state input. That will allow you to go here and look at this. You get the like different states as a drop down, and this is really nice for when you build components that you want people to have an easy time using. It's really neat to just be able to you know create these little interfaces. So maybe we have a card which has 3 different states. So it can be a warning card or a success card. So you can just you'll have a drop down here, or maybe maybe you want to be even more fancy, and instead of letting people set a specific margin, you can say like we have a large margin, we have a small margin, and we have a medium margin, for example. And so you can set these to be small, medium, large, and then handle in the states node, handle that value instead. It's really nice for yourself as well if you're building a design system for a project. It's really nice. All right. Yeah, well, that was a half bummer that the number thing didn't work for the connections. So maybe we should check that. All right. You know, the joys of a live stream, am I right? Yeah, anyways, back to it. We have a content section here. It adds a padding by default, and it adds a margin, and then it has this little border. Cool. Let's add, yeah, so going back to what we were doing before we took this little detour is that we were adding the description. So let's add the description. Let's create another content section. And we put that, I guess we put it, where? Should we put it here, below that? Yeah. Let's remove this group. Let's put a content section right below there. Perfect. So now we have another little content section, and let's add the text to this. So we'll create a text node. If you remember, before my little detour, we added or we retrieved the description from this object. So let's do that. Let's make a long connection from that. So the description, and send it to the text on the text input. Look at that, beautiful. A remote cabin close to a beautiful lake, perfect for the loner. Bring a book and relax, surrounded by the calm rocking of the trees. Beautiful. And if we go back to the Eslav listing by Banyolasa, this amazing townhouse is located right in the middle of the sleepy metropolis of Herva. Feel the sleepy pulse of this magnificent village. Perfect for couples and families. Amazing. So we have it for them. Should we, let's see, we have about 40 minutes left. Should we do the reviews as well? Maybe we should. This is turning into a very, very long, node tree. But I mean, it's a long page, so makes sense. But I'm thinking that maybe they're like, do you think the reviews will be Do you think the reviews will be reused in other places? Let's see. So we have the reviews section here, and then we show all reviews, and then they're listed like this. So I'm guessing that we should actually make the single, like, we should do one review object, or a review component, I guess. I think that sounds good, because this will be, yeah, it will be reused in multiple places. Maybe not the grid. The grid will do. The grid will do just like separately. Maybe we should do these things as well. Yeah. All right. Let's start with the descriptions, and then we'll see where we go from there. So let's create. We have atoms, but we don't have any molecules. So let us create a new folder for molecules. And this isn't like any Noodle specific thing. This is atomic design. If you haven't heard of atomic design, look it up. It's really neat. Essentially, it's like you split up all of your project into like atoms, molecules, and organisms, and it's kind of a way of reusing. Like atoms are really small things, so it's a list with icons, or it's a rating display, and the rating display is just like this little 5-star thing here. And this is used in a lot of things, so you can create put it into into a molecule, which might be, I don't know, a rating system, and then you go from there. So kind of small components that become bigger and bigger combined. It's a little bit like Noodle, actually. It's pretty fun. Anyways, let's see. What do we do? We will yeah, so we should create the component for the reviews. Actually, you know what? Let us just create it first, and then we just paste it into a component. So we just build it out here and do that later. Or should we? No. Nope. Let's do it the proper way. So we go to molecules, we create a new visual component, and we call it review. Let's see here. So how should it look? It should have an image, a name, a date, and a description. And then like this show more thing as well, but let's worry about that later on. So we create in, let's see here. First of all, how do we want to group this? So if we're grouping this is one group, one group. Yeah, okay. So first of all, let's create a group here. This will be the, we'll call it header. Not really a header, but it's kind of a header. And this one, we add an avatar. We put it in there. And here we also create another group. We call that, all the text should be in there. Be a text container. And we do this because we want to have these beside one another, but the text is below one another. So we do a, let's see here, text, and we create another text. This text should be the name. This text should be the date. We use the maybe label medium. We'll change them around later on, I guess. Well, let's just body small sounds reasonable enough, I guess. And then we do component inputs here. So component inputs, and the reason why we use this is because we're going to use this in a repeater, and the repeater needs to send data. So this visual component needs to know what is in here. So let's see, we need a image source. We need a name, or first name. Let's do first name. We will do a date, and we will do a review. Cool. And so the image source goes to the avatar image source. The first name goes to the text there, and the date goes to the text there. I think we actually get the date as a Unix timestamp. So let's add or do we have a date to string? But maybe it just takes a date input. But we can actually do let's do a date to string, and also do a function just to convert the Unix timestamp. Maybe there should be a prefab as well. Maybe it would be nice to just be able to drag something in that is a date, and just quickly essentially wrap these two in a prefab. We'll see. Tell us in the Discord if you would be interested in having a like date parsing prefab or whatever. Oh yeah, I'm trying to send things to a function that is empty. So what we do here is that we do outputs dot date is new date inputs dot date. Pretty simple. We're just taking the Unix timestamp, which is a number, and just convert it into a date. So we do date to date, and then we do hold up. Let's see. Let's move this one. And from there we do date to date. And the format, how does the format look? So it's month, year. So do month. Nope. And then we send that into the date. Oh. All right. So now we have. Oh yeah, we need the review as well. So let's do a text. And where do we put it? Right here. Yeah, below the header. Maybe the header needs a bit of a. Yeah, we'll do that later. Review to the text. Nice and neat. Let us hop back into the page here. And so we have, let's see, how does the data look? So we have reviews. And we have, so okay, so it's an array of reviews, and it has a lot of things as a review. Actually, yeah, you know what? We shouldn't take the name and date and all of that as inputs. We should just take the user ID as an input, and then get all of the other stuff in there, I guess. Or should we transform it in here? You know what? Let's do like this. Let's make it into a... So my thinking here is that we make it into a separate component, because this might be reused in other places. And maybe we'll want to use the review component with data that comes from elsewhere from this object. Or will we? Maybe we won't. No, you know what? Let's just do it in the review, or like in the review here. Let's do it like that instead. So remove this one, and that one. The date will be still getting as a date. The review will still be getting as a review. But the first name and the image source, is that correct? Let's see. Sorry, let's check it again. So reviews. A review has a user ID, it has a date, and it has a review. Perfect. All right. So we do it that way then. So let's see. It has a date, a review, and then we do a user ID. Cool. Perfect. And what we do then is that we should get Noodle ID from user ID, because we have to transform the IDs from the data into the ID of the like into the internal Noodle ID. So what we do here is that we send the user ID to the user ID input, and then we use an object. This object will be for the no wait isn't it? No, maybe it's an array. Maybe it is an array. Let's see here. Noodle ID. No, wait. Let's see here. How do we retrieve this in the best way possible? So we have this array of users. And then the Noodle ID. Wait, hold up. I'm forgetting how to use Noodle now. Aren't you supposed to object? Oh yeah, of course, because I'm using the Noodle ID to the ID. Yeah. Because the object IDs are global, and the object IDs will be... I just messed it up because I thought that you have to specify kind of what... that you have to specify the object ID here, but I forgot that, you know, all the users are created with an object ID. And that is the object ID that we get from here. So never mind, it's just me being messy. All right. And from this object, we will get a first name. And from this object, we will be getting a image, I think I called it. And that is that. So here should be the first name, and the avatar should have the image. Should be the image source. All right, cool. Let's yeah, moment of truth. Let's go back here. Let us create a repeater. No, not a rest node. Ah, live stream madness. Repeater. We put the repeater here, maybe. Let's see, where is this? This is inside of the limiter. Yeah, that'll be perfect. And then the repeater, we should have the items that we get from here is, let's go here. Have we extracted the reviews? Yes, we have. Perfect. Let us, wait, zoom out. Let us send the reviews to the items. And here, all right, drum roll. Review. Look at that. But it doesn't do anything. I wonder where that is. Let's see here. The reviews. We're getting one review. We have a user ID. We have a date and we have reviews. That is being sent into here. Oh, of course. So let's change these names to match the to match the data, like to match the names of the data that's being sent. Look here. We're getting it. Awesome. So what do we have here? Oh yeah, we need to get the review from here as well. So the this one should have a review. Oh wait, the review should be coming. The review is not coming from here. The review is coming from here. So review to this text. Look at this. Cool. So let's style this quickly. Andy Gandhi says success. Yes, it is a success. It's always a little bit nerve-wracking to Noodl live, because you never know what will happen. You never know when your brain will stop working and you do stupid mistakes. Yeah. Anyways, let's style this. So for this avatar, we want it to be bigger. We want it to be a square, so that's nice. Circle. And we want it to be large. Maybe no. Should we do extra large? Maybe that's no. Let's just do the large one. That'll be neat enough. Here in the header, we want to put the these things beside one another. So we take that one. We do explicit width and content height just for good measure. Andy Gandhi says, "Glad the Vault is helping." Cheers. Yeah. All right. And then we want to lay these out horizontally. And maybe we want the text container to have a little bit of spacing as well. So let's do a sensible 16 pixels. Yeah, seems nice enough. And then for the header, we want to align the items in the middle as well. I mean, it's just like a tiny little pixel off, but whatever. It's nice. Oh, and then also in this one, we want to align all of the items to the right. Oh, it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Did we do something? Oh yeah, it's because this is 100%. Let's do content width, content height on that one. Cool. Nice. I mean, it's huge now, but we can always change that later on. We can actually, you know what? Let's do it now. Let's go back here, and in this, let's put this repeater inside of a first of all a content section, because that's the new thing that we're working with now. And in this content section, let's pop in with some columns. We put it here, and then the column should be this. We do 1, 1. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Let's add some spacing to the header here. Maybe we do 16 pixels. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so yeah. So the thing is here, I think this looks really ugly, that it's like the alignment is so off. But I guess that's the way Airbnb solves it. Like, they don't handle that either, or do they? Let us sneak around in their code and see what happens. Do they have anything? No, they both pad. All right, so you're just lucky, or they use decent font sizes. All right. Oh well. Let's see. Do we have? No. This is that's a bit annoying, but yeah. I guess that's the way it works. Let's see. Do the dates to string have? No. No. Okay. So let's do it. Let's do it like this for now, and then we'll parse the later on. Parse the month to get it in a you know, to spell out the month instead. Yeah, well, I mean, that's nice. We have a review here. If we look at this, this is how it looks. Cool. So now we're showing all of the reviews here. Maybe we should go for this little component here as well. And so for this, there's also a so we need to create a new atom here, which is it's a progress bar, kind of. Maybe we use the atom. Maybe we atomize it later on, and just go for. Yeah, let's go for that later. Let us let's go back here to the page. What we'll do here in this context section, this content section, it should start off with these reviews here. Actually, you know, this is interesting because this has a top border here that is the full width of the stuff. And here it's not full width. Maybe we want this to be full width. How would we solve that with our content section module? Maybe, yeah, you know what? This is a perfect, perfect use of the, what's it called? Sorry, of the page inputs or component inputs. Because what we can do is that we can say, you know, for specific items, we can, you know, create an option that is, you know, to remove the bottom border, and then to include a border at the top as well. So let us try with that. Or maybe we should change it to only be top borders. Nah, let's not get crazy. Or should we? I don't know. Let's try it out. Noodl is an iterative tool. Let's iterate. So you can do Boolean. And then we can do... or should we do states? Let's do a states node instead. And here we do... has bottom border, has no bottom border. And then we create another state, but we rename this from bottom to top. Top border has no top border. We want this to be flexible. So by default, we want no top border, but we want a bottom border. Perfect. And here, what we can do is actually just set the color of the bottom border because it's just 1 pixel. So 1 pixel here and there would be pretty cool. So let's just do border color. And the border color should be a color. The border color for has border bottom should be 400. And has no border bottom should just be transparent. Cool. And we'll do the same thing here. Color should be a color. Has top border. Should be, no, wait, gray 400. Has no should be transparent. Nope. Oh, come on. There we go. Transparent. Cool. And so what we do here is that we do bottom border style, and we do remove the style one. Actually, we just do bottom border, top border. There we go. This one should be bottom border, should go to the state. And here, the top border should go to the state. Now let's name things just to be consistent. Top border. No, sorry, this is the bottom border. Bottom border. Here is the top border. There we go. And then for this one, we do the border color for the bottom border. So border color bottom. We do a top border. Let's see here. Border color top. Nice. Then we should also go in here and check out the top border, which should be solid. And it should be 1 pixel. There we go. And also, now I see, this will not do. Maybe we have to change the direction for these actually. So the first one should be no top border. And the second one should be has top border. Oh wait, what did we call them? Has bottom border. Yeah, okay, cool. Has no top border. Has no top border should be 400. Oh wait, has no top border should be transparent. Interesting. Transparent. Okay, so that's all correct. Let us go. I wonder. Has no top border. It is the default value, but for some reason it's being overwritten. But let's just fix that quickly. Content section. Yeah, but it says it has no top border. Oh, it's because I connected them the other way around. Haha. Of course. So, but I didn't though. Did I? That's weird. Let's see here. If we reload. Bottom border. Top. Why are they flipped? Am I just being... Oh, yeah. Of course. Because I connected them the other way around. So, let's see here. Bottom border. Wait, and this says... So, yeah. Oy, oy, oy. Let's see. I'm going to rename this to bottom border. Yeah, getting a bit confused here. The top border goes to the state. And the bottom border goes to that state. All right. Now we should be in business. Or are we? It has no top border. But it has a top border. What am I doing wrong? Let's see here. Top border. Oh yeah, of course, because I haven't connected them here properly either. So, now, let's do it. Border color to border color top. Border color to border color bottom. Nice. Okay, good. So, just to, sometimes it's easy to remember things, and sometimes it's hard to remember things, and sometimes you get confused, and sometimes you don't. All right, so maybe we should change this 32 pixel margin bottom, actually. Maybe we should do it as a padding instead, so that it will always work with the, yeah. Yeah, so that will always work with the borders. So we can actually remove this one. Remove that. And then in this case, instead of 32 pixels at the bottom, we do 32 pixels as a top padding. There we go. And now if we go back here to the content section, has top border. Then we get a top border. This is perfect. So no top border there. And so when we go down here, for, let's see, this content section here, which I should rename to be description. And then from this one, oops, this description, it should have no bottom border. It should have no top border, because the border for this thing here will actually come from this content section, which is the reviews. And that should have a top border. Look at that. Now it looks a lot nicer. The power of components. There we go. Let's see, what time is it? 13:24. Yeah. 13:25. You think we have time to do the little review progress bar? You know what? Let's do it. Let's extend the streaming time just a little bit to make this happen. So what we should do here is that we should make an atom called progress bar. Or maybe, is it called progress bar or is it called percent bar? Let's go for percent bar. I think that's better. So create a new visual component called percent bar. Cool. And how is this used? This is used with a value. Yeah. Okay, cool. So in here, this is good. We do component inputs. And here we do min value. Min value. We do max value. Oops, mac value. That is my favorite generic hamburger store menu. Yeah. Min value, max value, and then we do value, I guess. And then we should show a we want to show the max value and we want to show this this percentage bar. So let us do like this. We first create a group and call it bar container. There we go. And then here we also create a text. And the text, yeah, the text goes beside the bar container. Let's just do that. That should be max value. So for the bar, no wait, and here we will always show the max value text. Cool. Let us then, you know what, let's, like, this should be an average. So what we should do here is that we should show the average of all of the reviews here. But I'm thinking that we just do it for the one review for now, and then we can later on do all of those calculations. This is just, you know, to show things visually. So let's actually hop into the molecules, the review molecule, and in here we will create a new group. Or actually, maybe not. Maybe we just do percent bar. There we go. Oh, and this should actually be a repeater, because we want to send in all of the data. So we should do So in this component inputs, let us see here. What do we have when we get the reviews back? We have a cleanliness, accuracy, communication, location, check-in value, and review. So let's pin this. And let's, yeah. Let's go back to the percent bar. No, wait. No. Go to review. Then we do cleanliness. Cleanliness. Accuracy. Check-in. What else do we have there? We had check-in. No, wait. Sorry, where were we? Reviews. There. We have cleanliness, accuracy. Yeah, location, value, and communication as well. Yes. So we do location, value, and communication. Cool. And now look at this. Accuracy, check-in, location, value, communication. We have all of them. Maybe we should actually, you know what? We should go back into the data just to see some more weird. Let's see here. We go to the second item. Let's change the data up so it's not only 4 and 5. Maybe we do 3.76. No, wait. Location is amazing. Maybe 3.76. I'm thinking that who is it? Yokmoksyuki. Maybe he's a bit of a loner, so he's not the best with the check-ins. Maybe, I don't know. It's you know, make up your own story for that. Let's see. So we go back here. Yeah, perfect. Here's the repeater. So what we should do is that we should create another function, and just combine all of this data here. Let's pin this. Maybe this is not the best way of doing it. Maybe we should just send in the whole review. But yeah, it's the way it is now. We'll work around it later. Let's move this over here. So we do outputs dot item. There should be an object. It should have min. Actually, you know what? Let's do like this. So we create an array, inputs dot accuracy, inputs dot check in, input dot location, inputs dot value, and then inputs dot communication. This should be a variable const ratings. All right. So now we have an array of all of the ratings. And the reason why we have that is that, you know, instead of having to rewrite things, we just do like this. Outputs dot items, I guess, equals to ratings dot map. And then we'll map over the ratings. Rating, and this should return an object where the value should be rating. The min value should be 0, and the max value should be 5. Cool. And then what we do is that we can unpin that. And here we send the, let's see, cleanliness. Oh, we didn't include the cleanliness one. Cool. So cleanliness, accuracy, check-in, location, value, communication. A lot of stuff. And what this outputs is items with min value and max value. Oh yeah, there we go. Cool. Look at that. Perfect. So the data works. Let's send those items into the items of the repeater, and the repeater should have the percent bar. And now, will you take a look at that? 5s all around, and it's because we're showing the max value. No, we shouldn't be showing the max value, actually. That is wrong. We should be showing the value. So let's show the value. 4, 3.76, 555. Perfect. Now let us build the bar. What will we do? So we have the bar container, and in the bar container, like the bar container should be a certain width, I guess. We'll set this to a fixed width of how many pixels? How many pixels? How many pixels are you? Let's just be a bit. 119. Oh no, wait. 100. 122. Let's do 120. Or you know what? Let's do 100 just to be super simple about it. Yeah, that'll be easier. An easy life. So we do 100 pixels. Or actually, we do it like this. 100 pixels. Height should be maybe, let's say 5 pixels. There we go. And then this should have a background color. And the background color should be, maybe that's a bit too dark. Let's go for the 500. Yeah, the 500 kind of looks neat. No, let's do 400. Nice. Perfect. And then in the bar container, we should have another group that should be the bar. There we go. And the bar should have a 100%, then a pixel width. Yeah, exactly. And now we are going to... Oh, wait up. No, we don't have to have it in a pixel width. What am I talking about? We can just do it in a percent width. You know, we're getting a percent, so let's just do a percent. That's smart. We're not going to do it in the layout, though. It's going to be absolute, because this is going to, like, lie on top of this thing. So if we set a background color to this one, let's do the primary one. We have full bars, but this is not a full value. You know, let's do like that as well, so that it's easier to see. And then we'll align that to the center. And the max value should have, what should a max value be? No, wait, it should have here. Let's do 16 pixels. Spacing, nah, 8 pixels is probably better. There we go. For some reason, we're getting a strange first value. I wonder what that is. What is that? What is that? What is that? Input.cleanliness. What do we get from the cleanliness value? Oh, we don't get it from the... Wait, didn't we send the cleanliness? Do we get it? Let's see here. Reviews. Cleanliness. It is there. Why isn't it being passed on? Maybe we are missing something. Oh no, it's because we wrote clean lines. Haha. Cleanness. There we go. Now it's properly typed out. Perfect. So here we go. We have the value. Let's create a function node. And in this function node, output start percent. So to get the percent, what do? We do, what is it? It's max value, wait, inputs dot max, no, min value. What is it? Yeah, min value divided by inputs dot max value times 100. I've been streaming for too long, I can't remember now. I'm a bit tired. Let's see if this works. So we do... and this should not be the min value. This should just be the value. And in the future, we should probably check for the, like, what the min value is and what, so that we get a proper offset for that. But for now, I'm not really too worried, because the min value in this case will always be 0. So value into value, and then max value to max value. And what do we get from the outputs? 100%. That sounds a bit wrong. Let's do... change that into numbers. Or wait, no, 100% is correct for some of the things. Because, yeah, sometimes it is 100%. There we go. All right. Yeah. Let's just connect it to this percent. Set that to be the width in percent. Oh yeah, of course, because we should not have a percent there. That's true. But it's still not really... Yeah, there we go. Awesome. So now we have the percent bar. And that, you know, maybe we should include this in a another component that actually loops out the names of the stuff as well. But for now, I'm feeling my brain really shutting off. So I think it's time to call this a stream. I'm really happy that you joined me today. You know, maybe we'll do a stream soon again. I know there are some streams in the works, talking about it, so it's gonna happen. If you haven't checked out Noodl yet, please do. www.noodle.net. It's a neat tool, really fun to work in. I mean, I'm a developer and I love it. I'm a designer as well and I love it too. So it's a perfect combination, I guess, for me. And yeah, see you in another stream. Thanks for joining, and toodaloo.